So what's up, everybody? This is D. And if you looked at my last video, you'll see that I took apart one of my saltwater tanks, the 11-gallon cube. It was just too many projects going too many different directions. Decided to consolidate. I sold off some stuff. I brought some stuff to the auction. Anyway, if you don't know what's going on, it's because you're not a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, you know what you got to do. Support a brother. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a like, because YouTube shows love in both directions. But anyway, let's get to what's going on. So here you'll see a freshly cleaned out, resoiled, and rewatered 11-gallon cube. But here's the bad news. In moving and cleaning the 11-gallon cube, I discovered a huge scratch across the whole. What I had was the front of the tank. I was really insecure about it. For the time being, I switched the tank around so the black background was on the side, so I didn't see that scratch. But in my head the whole time I'm thinking, are you sure it's a scratch, D? Is it a crack? Did you hit it? I did notice this little baby on my scraper. Look at that screw I've been using, and it was facing in, and I don't know if I just scratched the tank. Well, anyway, you know how us aquarium people are. Without worrying about the risk of this tank one day exploding on me for some freak accident, I decided to get another cube and just start from fresh, clean state of mind, not worrying about the inevitable destruction of my little fish area. So let's take a look at what I got. So I ran over to my local spot over here and I picked up a 10-gallon cube. So it's a 1 gallon short of the 11-gallon cube. And of course the top was already made for the 11-gallon cube, but I did get to start fresh. It's more asymmetrical. It's a clean start. I have the foam bottom. It's white. I'll probably paint the background, or what I'm going to call the back. I'll roll some paint on that, get a clean start. But I did find that I had some wood that I hadn't been using in the back, so it gave me a chance to create a nice new scape. What I'm doing is I'm using the driftwood that I have there, and I'm going over it with my good old-fashioned cyanocoagulate glue and my little detailer, and just trying to glue some stone to the wood, get it attached, and try to keep it stationary in the tank. But I'm kind of happy with this layout. I bought some fluval stratum, which is rather expensive, only at the recommendation of one of my favorite shrimp keepers, because I'm thinking of using that tank for shrimp. And I heard that the fluval stratum is one of the best substrates. Now, not saying nothing about the Seachem Flourish or the Fluorite, which I currently have in the tank, but I can use that for another project, and this will give me a chance to experiment. I want to start with all the best layout, since this will be my first dedicated invertebrate tank. It's going to be primarily shrimp. Maybe I'll get some nano species like, scarlet batis, but nothing bigger than that. I want this to be a primarily oriented invert tank. So I can give you a better look. I don't want to move this around, but I got a good bit of glue in the crevices there. You can see that there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt water and a little bit of sand to it, which I found in the past generally just cements it into place really well. And I'm going to save the water that I already put into the 11-gallon. I'll probably just reuse that. I'm debating that whether I want to just start with RO or not. Let me know what you think. Put your comments in below, and let me know what you think about that. But for the most part, I'm happy with this. It's a nice clean tank. There was nothing wrong other than that huge scratch. I just can't sleep at night. You know how it is, people. The only thing I'm not happy about is I don't like an open tank, especially if I'm going to have like inverts or something in there. It would be good if I just had this top just fit on here, but I'm not that lucky, people. I'm never that lucky. Look at that. It definitely doesn't fit, because that tank being 11 gallons is slightly off. So good enough. I already have some clips to support a glass drop-in lid, so not gonna worry about that. I can easily get glass cut. What I will be reusing is my good old-fashioned Aqua Clear 20. I got a little screen on there, so I'm not worried about the shrimp going in. Same thing that I use for my little nano tank over there. And I do have a few shrimp in there, but you know, I never see them because this is basically for my limia, my tiger limia in there, which are doing pretty good. And yeah, it's a shame because it took about 2 days and it's actually starting to clear, and now I want to take it apart. It's typical Aquarius to fanatical behavior. But one of the things that I kind of worried about or wasn't really crazy about was to have shrimp, and I'm going to put some inverts, I'm going to put some freshwater clams in there, things like that. I'm worried about the jagged edge, jagged nature of the flourish, I always say the name wrong, but the sea flourish substrate, versus the stratum being really round and porous. Is basically lava rock and like dried, or I forgot what the kilned, dried, like clay substrate. So it's supposed to be better for plants, and you know, I got a crap load of plants all the time. So I'm gonna give it a clean look. I'm gonna do the swap over. I'm going to empty the tank, I don't have it here, into my 30-gallon container that I use for water changes, and we'll get going from there. So let's get going. Now let me just give you a little recap of what I do. I take the glue, if I can focus, and I use my little tool here. Usually get these with turkey tie-up kits, like the things to tie up the turkey, those kits, you get them from the dollar store. And get a little glue there. I already did it for the most part, but I get a nice bit of glue on there, if I can focus. And I'll put it in a crevice here and try to get a nice bond between the wood and the stone. This is why you need something real thin. You can't do this with your fingers unless you want your fingers to be stuck together for a long time, which, believe me, I found that out the hard way. And now I have some sand. You can use any fine powder sand. I find it works better with sand. I use black because that's what I have available. And I just want to drop it in there with the glue. I just pinch it a lot, get a good bit of it. So it does two things. First of all, it hides the glue. Second of all, it kind of acts like concrete. It creates something for the glue to bond the two things together. And when it's all said and done, you'll see the final result. It kind of bonds like concrete. This is basically a reef or saltwater trick that we use. I got from a hobbyist quite some time ago. We were talking about fragging, and he was showing me how he attaches his frags. He attaches his rocks to the frags and so on and so forth. So now what you're gonna do is gonna take a little bit of salt water, because I found that it works better with salt water. My little syringe, take a little bit of salt water. This is just a little bit here, and I'm gonna use this to quick dry that glue. So if you can see, I'll just get that glue, and that salt water is one of the best bonding agents. Something about salt water, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the makeup of the salt water. I tried it with fresh water and it just does not do the same thing. This is one of the reasons I'm doing this while the tank is empty. But you just want to cover that glue with as much salt water, and you'll feel it get hard. Like what I did already, I can see over here is really hard, but I'll give it some more time to cure up. Put some more water in that. And when it's all said and done, the good thing about the black sand is it just looks like soil. It just looks like part of the rock. You don't see big old globs of white glue. So really good trick for aquascaping. Just an example, you can see really close right there. You can see that was one little spot that I put, let me see, I put a little more there. You can see it there, right there. There's a little bit of glue there. You can't even tell it's glue. You know, it just seeps in there and absorbs it, and that'll create a nice bond. So now with anything else, this is no different than any other project. You got to have a little patience. It's not like you're going to throw water in there, throw the fish in there, and screw it all up. You got to give it time to set. But this is the best time to think about scaping your tank while the tank is empty. I'm going to have really small species. So I'm going to have little caves. I'm not going to add a lot. I'll have some plants in there. I'm going to add a bunch of plants in there all in one shot. But this is basically an invert tank, so the shrimp, I don't want them hiding all over the place, but I do want to give them some cover, which is going to be in the form of plants. So I'll have a nice little substrate. I'll add the substrate after the glue and the rock and the wood is the way I want it to be, and get a nice clean aquascape. I'm getting my aquascaping on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Getting fancy. But yes, just bringing you along for the ride. This will be part 2 of what I'm going to call, Shrimp Tech 101. So I'm getting my Shrimp Tech on, asked a lot of questions. There's no pros here. I deal with people that I know have successful shrimp setups and just pick their brain. That's the good thing about the Brooklyn Aquarium Society meetings. You got plant people, shrimp people, fish people, cichlid people, catfish people, saltwater people, reef, frag, coral people. Just people that love the hobby, and they're always willing to share some tips. So this is me sharing what I'm doing so far. So you're going to have to click subscribe so that you can get the update on part 3, and that's going to be the placement and filling that baby, doing the swap over. So till next time, this is D from Brooklyn. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. Thank you for coming and watching my channel. I appreciate all y'all. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. See ya.